Morning, folks. This morning's soap is from Strike Gold Shave. The name of this one is Hoover, and the best way to describe this scent is it pretty much matches Skin Bracer. So you have this aftershave. That's what soap looks like on the inside. It's fairly firm, but you can push your finger in it a little bit. Scrapes out pretty easy with a spoon. In other words, it's not quite like What the Puck. Got the alum block without the rubber band. Going to be using unscented witch hazel that's methylated. Already showed you the aftershave, and off camera I'll be using the Shaven Sailor Beard oil. I have it whipped up here in a bowl from Vanulay, and the brush is from Leo. This is a Red Dirt Shaving Society Facebook group brush. It's got a synthetic knot. Really nice brush. It's beautiful. The blade of the day. I have not tried this one in a while, so I thought maybe this might be a good time to try it. At least we're going to find out. It's the Lord Platinum. And if you haven't seen it just yet, this is the special edition Fatip Piccolo. This one here is the open comb version. I haven't mentioned, but the as it goes for putting the blade in, and do I have to fiddle with the blade alignment? So far, no. I just put the blade in, put it all together, tighten the snug up the handle on it. It just lines up just perfect every time. That's always nice. Don't have to think about that too much when you got a shaver that's like that. My Preshave cube is getting smaller. That's pretty cool though. Because if I remember, I think this was like, was it $5.99 for the cube? And how long it's lasted? Because it's a pretty good sized cube. Pre-shave soap. The scent, there's one that's banana scented. That one that kind of interested me, but I haven't bought that one because there's one I've got that's methylated. It's scentless, but it's methylated, and I really, if there's one that I feel like that ever made a difference in the shave, it might be that one because of the menthol. And I had a sample size of that one, and now I've got a full size one that when the cube is gone I'll go back to it, and you can darn near shave with that. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you could. I'll go to the methylated one and revisit it and see if I can put my finger on whether or not the Preshave soap that's methylated, how it compares to the cube that is not methylated. At least I can't tell that it's methylated if it is. You can kind of tell this whipped up pretty nice. Didn't take a whole lot of effort. Alright. It has been a good long while since I tried this blade. I'm going to see how it works for me today. I mean, it's been I don't know, maybe a year. When you look at shave of the days, some blades you don't see too terribly much of, some more so. I think sometimes part of it is a person just getting past either the name of the blade or where it's made at. I understand, for instance, you want to, for instance, you know, you want to buy, let's say, All American, for instance. Well, as far as I know, the only blade that's made here in the States is Persona. Anything past that is made somewhere else. This one here is made in Egypt. I have to say it's not bad. It's not the smoothest, but it's not bad. I still got a lot of videos I gotta get caught up on. I don't know that I ever will. May just have to pick and choose. I do like the idea of what Joy is doing, using products that's readily available to him right there. And Joe, he was shaving with a tube of shaving cream that I've never seen before, and I guess it was fairly easy for him to find there, and inexpensive at that. And to me, that is really nice to be able to find a shaving cream or soap that's inexpensive, that works, you know, I guess you might say it well enough to get your shave on. And he was talking about how it had plenty of slickness and glide, which for me, slickness is that's the first one on the list. If it's not very slick, I have a tendency not, especially not want to use it with a shavette or a straight razor. Lack of slickness with using one of those will cause you problems. Not that it's not already a challenge to begin with. This is really smooth, creamy. For me, I don't mind the scent of Skin Bracer. It kind of reminds me of the classic scent that's been around for a while. I know sometimes a soap maker will make the, for instance, I think Douglas has got one that smells like Brute. I don't know if anybody makes one that smells like Stetson. That may not be that popular a scent, but I know I like it. You get the impression sometimes that some people think that just because it's been around a moment that it's not a good scent. It's just a classic scent. Yes, I'd have to say this is not doing too bad, this blade. Some of these blades I'm going to go back and revisit, especially in the month of December, because when I first started shaving is when I used some of these blades. Oh, now that I've got it wet, but that's what the wrapper looks like. In other words, my technique has improved quite a bit, so I need to go back and revisit them. I know the Lord Cool, that blade there is pretty cool. Did you catch all that? That is a nice blade. I like it. I liked it well enough to get a 100 pack. I get good shaves with that blade. And some of these, you know, it might just be dependent on the shaver, whether it works well for you or not. For instance, tomorrow I'll be using the Gillette Wilkinson sword, and I was really surprised. Not only is the price on that blade pretty reasonable, but does pretty good on the shave. Stephen had mentioned it. It's and it may not. I think, you know, just like anything else, some of your type of beard, whether it works well with a particular blade or not, something to keep in consideration. This is really creamy. Good stuff here. And I think, if I remember right, I think Frank just put on Instagram yesterday, I think this is the one of them that he mentioned that was sold out. So, and I should mention also, if you find a soap that you like that Frank's got on his website or used to have on his website, and if you're interested in it, you probably want to let him know, because that's how he figures out whether he needs to have another batch made or not. And if you're wondering if, yeah, I'd have to say, this is a pretty good shaver. It's pretty good. Open comb. It's not so aggressive. It's not aggressive anyway, but I mean, don't let the open comb part scare you off. It's quite easily could be somebody's daily shaver. But you will want to make sure you match up your blade. So far I haven't had a blade that just, just absolutely did not work in it. As well as the fact that I've also used most of my shaves will always have a blade that I know that at some point in time in a shaver somewhere it didn't perform too terribly bad when I try a new shaver. But sometimes you never know. For instance, this Lord Platinum is performing pretty well. So you might want to try one that maybe it didn't work in one shaver, it might work in another for you. Boy, this soap is it is pretty creamy. Got a spot right there I think I missed. There is just a little bit of feedback. Got a spot back there that I definitely missed. Got that little strip right through there. Sometimes I can feel it and sometimes I can't, because that hair, those whiskers right there, they grow every which way right in there. Once they get longer, they'll lay down. In other words, when I have the full beard, you don't really notice the pattern of the hair growth because it gets longer and they'll lay down. But when they're short like this, you can definitely feel that it grows in such an odd way. Definitely not in the way that it lays down when it's grown out. Speaking of that sort of thing, don't know where how things are where you're at, but I know where I am. Guess you might say a large part of the group of guys that I work with or around, they you can tell they seriously rebelled against paying those prices for the cartridge, and most of them are clueless. They don't even know that there's another way to shave. In other words, DE, Shavette, take your pick. They don't have any idea, and so they've rebelled and they don't shave at all. Most of these guys work outside, and especially during the winter months, you can tell that it's more prevalent during the winter than it is the summer. But when I had mine, it was always year round. I trimmed it, but I didn't shave it off. It just stayed. For me, it never created a problem during the summer months. Some guys talked about it, that during the summer they felt like it was too hot. I never noticed it. It didn't make a difference one way or the other. To me, it was hot. It was hot. With the hair or without the hair. It was hot. didn't make a difference to me. Get the alum block here. Right there, a little bit of sting. That seems to be a common place for me. Wonder if there's not something going on right there. I keep on, every once in a while, knock off the top part of whatever is going on there. It never turns red that I can tell. Sometimes I get a little red spot right about here, but it seems kind of odd. It's almost the same place, seems like every time. Just a tiny little spot. But outside of that, no stinging. It's great when you get a good shave. I mean, really. That blade there I haven't used in quite some time. And I looked at it, and I was looking at another one too. Lord Extra. I was looking at that one. I was thinking about using both of them. But I wanted to use the Bolzano, and I also got the Supermax Blue Diamond. Some of these I'll be using with the plate with the safety bar, we'll put it that way. It should be I guess you might say a shave for sensitive skin, or maybe you don't require that close of a shave depending on what your beard growth is. My beard growth, of course, right through here is the thickest. It does thin out, of course, up on the upper cheeks, but down through here it's fairly dense. In other words, I don't have a problem growing a beard. Not at all. Go ahead and take this apart in case you haven't seen the other video just yet. Show you what the bottom of the faceplate looks like. I mean the base plate. It may be kind of hard to see, but right there is the Fatip logo stamped in the bottom of the base plate. Like I said, it lines up, blade lines up. So far, every time I put one in, I've not had to adjust it at all. Let me double check and make sure my thinking is right. Yeah, there is very little wiggle room for this blade. It's not the tightest of tolerances, because when it wiggles it's just a tiny bit, but I don't think it's enough to, so far it's never been enough to affect my shave or anything of the sort. That's what the underside of it looks like. And I should mention that this base plate right there, you can kind of tell, it'll take the other handle, it'll fit right up in there without a problem. I do like this shaver, and the idea that you get two different base plates, I guess you might say a 2-in-1, and plus the color combination on this is just awesome. It's a beautiful shaver. Here locally, this will run you under $5 and get 7 ounces. So when you look at the grand scheme of how much is aftershave, if you have not tried this in a while, that's what the restrictor looks like. That's a pretty good buy. I don't feel like the scent is overpowering, but it's definitely present. How long does the scent stick around? For me, in my routine, so for instance, I start my day at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll go ahead and I'll go do my posting, get ready for work and all that sort of thing. So by the time 6 o'clock rolls around, do I notice the scent of this? Per my nose, the answer is no. And that's per my nose, but if so, in other words, if you're going to put on a cologne or something of the sort, I don't see that this would interfere with that sort of thing. No, it's not going to match, and I'm not a person that is that particular about matching, unless it's it's a scent that that's what I like. That's the reason why I am matching it. Otherwise, I'll do the mix and match thing. I'll get it spit out here. Tomorrow, I have had this one here for 2 or 3 days, and I have not decided what aftershave to use with it. Found this one by the way of Instagram, and the title of this soap sounded pretty nice. This has got 4.7 ounces, I think it is, and this is in a screw top tin, and it's pretty much filled to the top. The scent is not quite like, in other words, if you're expecting a bold bourbon scent, I don't pick that up with my nose, but a very pleasant scent. And this is what the soap looks like. I'm sorry, I really like this soap. I mean, in the way that the scent of the soap, and it looks like the texture, at least it's a soft soap. You can tell there, it's soft. It leaves me the impression that this is going to lather up pretty good. I'll use it tomorrow. And tomorrow being Thursday, this was a third shave with the open comb plate. I'll go to the one with the safety bar I got sitting over there. That'll be the plate that I'll be using next, and I'm going to be using this soap. I have not. I think I am going to, because I've got a. I've got a aftershave from Bangulé that I'm going to use with this one here. I was thinking about using something different, but I think I am going to go with my first original thought. Anyway, this is getting kind of long. Gotta get ready for work. Running out of time. This really was a good shave. Lord Platinum, that blade worked out better than what I expected. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.